YOLO. You read the title correctly. I have quit paying my taxes.
You what?
I'm in danger!
Hail for tax evasion! I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you.
Leave it or not in jail right away.
Okay, maybe I should clarify. I have quit paying my taxes out of my paycheck. I have reduced the amount that's withdrawn from my paycheck for both state and federal taxes to the lowest possible amount, if not zero. I have to wait on the forms to come in, but I've already got the ball rolling with work. I still will pay my taxes, so IRS, don't get mad at me. I'm just going to pay them in the following year's April, I believe it is, when I go to file my taxes.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
There are three main reasons that I'm doing this, and I'll go ahead and break them down here for you in a second. Starting with number one. The first reason, I'm already 100% sure I'm going to owe money next year on my taxes because of all the call options I've been writing this year. Because I've made $32,887 in call option premium this year, as of May 2025. Now, before you go thinking I'm some kind of financial guru or that I'm rich, I do have to go ahead and be honest and say that I'm actually down for the year so far on call options, because I had one time where my options were assigned at a $34,000 loss and a couple other small losses here and there. So I've recouped most of my losses, but in total, I'm down about $22,000. You know what they say, little boys who play with fire get their fingers burned. And there's an old saying on Wall Street that I think fits this pretty well, which is, he who sells what isn't must buy it back or go to prison. That being said, I'm 100% confident that I'm going to be able to turn from negative to positive on my call options this year. And if you don't want to miss that, make sure you smash the subscribe button and click that post notification bell. All that being said, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to end up affecting my taxes for the current year, because I intend on being positive, but right now I'm negative, so we'll be able to offset some of the gains, but that's future me's problem to figure out. But that's one of the reasons I've decided not to take money out of my paychecks for taxes. Reason number two is influenced by two of my favorite books on financial education and literacy, which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad and The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, one thing that they both have in common is they both recommend that you pay yourself first, not pay the government first. And with a standard W-2 job, you end up paying the government first because they take their portion out of the taxes out of your paycheck before it even hits your bank account. So I've decided I'm going to be paying myself first instead of letting the government take my money from me before I can do anything with it. I want to be a good steward of the money God's given me and magnify it, but I can't do that if it's taken from me before I have the opportunity to invest it. My thought process being, every dollar that would have been taken from me, I'll now have access to invest into cash flowing assets. That way I can start generating additional income and then use that money to pay off the IRS later by either selling the stocks, which is worst case scenario that I don't want to do, or taking a loan against the stocks, which is what I'd really like to do because I've been studying how the rich avoid paying their taxes, or more accurately, a loophole they use to pay less taxes over time. And I'll go ahead and explain it here now. The way it works is, say someone like Elon Musk has billions of dollars of Tesla stock, and he wants to buy a house. Well, if he wants to buy the house, he has to sell some of his stock, so he loses his position and control, and is not going to be able to benefit from the growth of the stock in the long run. And selling it is then a capital gains that he owes taxes on. All around a bad situation. Option two, he goes to the bank and says, hey, bank, this billions of dollars of stock I have, I'd like to take a loan out and I'd use the stock as collateral for my loan if I ever fail to pay. They give him a loan at a ridiculously good interest rate because he has the means to cover it if anything goes wrong, so it's very low risk on their end. He then takes that money, which, since it's a loan, he does not have to pay taxes on the loan money. He can then buy himself a house. And with his regular paychecks, he can slowly start paying back the loan. Or he could then wait till a year, 2 years later, refinance the debt. Or even then, if things start going badly, go ahead and finally sell some of his stock to pay it off. But it allows for more options. That's my current thought process, which is every dollar I'm going to invest, I'll eventually be able to take a loan out against it, or margin, and Robinhood it's called, and it's only at like a 5% or 5 point something percent, basically a really, really small interest rate. Something I would easily be able to cover paying off over the course of, say, the remainder of 2026. So 2025's taxes would be completely taken care of, and I'll be able to invest in stocks which will hopefully continue to grow and to grow their dividends. So I'd be double dipping at this point. Technically triple dipping if I can get enough to buy 100 shares and write call options on it and just, get a little bit better at call options so I'm not taking a loss next year as well. And the third reason is actually a part A, part B. So I could have split it into 4 reasons, but that'd just be milking the video for content, and I'm not that desperate quite yet. So part A, I want to speed up how fast I'm getting to $10,000 in my high yield savings account. I'm at $4,500 right now, and I have a automatic percentage of every paycheck deposited into my high yield savings account, but that percent deposit comes after my taxes are taken. So if I stop putting taxes in now, I'll be able to build up my savings faster. And then the rest of reason number 3 is I have about, I think it was $39,000 left of my high interest unsecured personal loan, which I would really like to pay that off before the end of the year because the interest on that is just obnoxious. And I took it. It was a good opportunity at the time, or at least I thought it was, because I go into more detail in my video titled $210,000 equals financial freedom, something like that. But basically that and another large amount of debt from margin I took out for what I thought was a golden opportunity, and I cover that in much more detail in the other video. But suffice it to say, I would like to be able to pay that 30% basically loan off, because it's 29 or 30% right now, and it's just gotten annoying. Those are the reasons why I've quit paying taxes out of my paychecks, so that I can pay them off in the following year, either in one lump sum with margin or debt, or in a payment plan, depending on whichever works best for my financial situation. I definitely do not recommend what I'm doing to anybody else because I'm kind of all over the place, learning as I go. I'm making plenty of mistakes, and hopefully this isn't one of them. But I wanted to share this here because I decided when I made my YouTube channel that I would be as transparent about things as possible. Not just the good, but also the bad. So if this turns out horrible and blows up in my face and the IRS gets super pissed off, I'll make a video sometime next April or so being like, hey, turns out it was a really bad idea. I think it's going to work out as a good idea. I feel very confident about it and have a nice feeling of peace that everything's going to be okay. Which, in this day and age, it's very hard to feel a nice calm about anything that goes on. So when you do, you kind of have to just latch onto it like a life preserver. Also, as a little bonus reason, I just kind of hated seeing the taxes being taken out on my paychecks because I would work so hard, getting up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, putting in 14-hour days, and then see they're taking hundreds of dollars out of my paycheck, and I'm just like, man, I worked hard for that money. Back off. So I'd really rather have access to it myself. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like, and let me know in the comments below what you thought of the editing style, adding in more little clips and memes. I personally love memes, and I think it would work great with this kind of a YouTube channel. But if you think it's too distracting and you don't really care for it, let me know. That way I don't overdo it in the future. But I just wanted to thank you guys for watching and sticking around, and let you know that I'll catch you on the flip side. YOLO, Editor Alex here. Turns out I cannot change the amount I owe in state and federal taxes unless I have new qualifying deductions that I can use, such as a change in marital status or dependents. If I wanted to get paid first without paying the state and federal taxes, that would be more a 1099 situation, my work said.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I guess that's what I get for making my YouTube video a day before I find out that it really wouldn't work out. But it'd be like that sometimes. Well, that's why they say don't count your chickens before they hatch, or don't make your YouTube videos before the life event that they're based on actually happens. Well, I'll catch you on the flip side.